What's up, YouTube, Facebook, family? Just want to make this quick video because it's a sad day in the Spring household. We're kind of devastated. We had a loss of a family member. Just the car. I can hold that straight face, but yeah, her car had a total catastrophic failure on her transmission. She has a 2015 Nissan Altima. It has like 108,000 miles. Man, I was going on the internet. It's just bad. It's just lots and lots of stuff regarding these failures on these transmissions. I want to show you something. Just hang tight with me, because I've never seen anything like this before, and if somebody told me this, I would be a little apprehensive, skeptical really. But just me knowing the backstory about my wife and how she drives and how I drive, and myself being the one who diagnosed the issue. So the car was coming up with two codes: speed sensor A, speed sensor B. It's like no current. So each sensor was like $175 or whatever. Oh man, is that flashlight on here? Yeah, all right. So one sensor is down in there behind the starter. So I replaced that. The other sensor is down here. Hold on, let's get dark for a second, but it's behind the wheel. It's in there. Now, I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see this, but this is unreal. I just replaced it, and here it is. Here's the new sensor. Brand new. Over $300 worth of sensors. And I just replaced it, not thinking anything, and when I looked in there, I was like, man, something doesn't look right. But anyway, I just put the sensor back in there. Same exact problem, except this time I pulled up a new code, and that code was something regarding solenoid A lock and open position or closed position. But anyway, and when I first saw it, I just discarded it. But if you look, I don't know if I could pull. Oh I got it. Oh man, I'm sorry, this camera angle is horrible. But there is pieces of them in there. They're just piled in there. It's just bits and pieces. This car only has, and it's a CVT transmission. Oh. It's just bits, kibbles and bits. Oh, look. Oh my goodness. You seen that? It's just piles of these things. Oh. Look at this shit. Are you fucking serious? Oh my god. It's just piles of them in there. The whole belt. I did some research prior to this, so I was very familiar with this transmission. Because I'm kind of, I know a little bit, some, but, and I was a little concerned, thought maybe it was a fault on my own because I had just degreased the engine 2 weeks ago. And I thought maybe I shorted out one of those sensors, maybe using too much harsh mix on the degreaser. And I could tell she was kind of leaning towards that thought. And she had me leaning on it too. I was like, oh man. So, but anyway, we forked up the 300 something bucks, got the sensors, put them in there. Of course not. And it's that belt. It's rather the belt or the gears. The belt is complete Kevlar It's Kevlar steel, some type of Kevlar steel belt. I never heard of it. It's totally effed. So we're gonna go to Nissan. Or I guess we're gonna go to Nissan tomorrow morning, or she's gonna go to Nissan, and we'll see if they play ball or not. There's been a big class action lawsuit. It closed in February. This is March. It closed last February, I believe February 1st of 2020. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see if they play ball or not. It's weird. They sold the previous Nissan dealership. It's still Nissan, but they changed owners. And it makes me think, I wonder if they sold a whole bunch of these Altimas, they started coming back, and then maybe they were like, oh, no, we got to get out of here. We're going to get our name pegged, because they had their name on front of it. You know how they named themselves, like Tiffany, Fenton, whatever. All right. But so then they packed out of there. A new dealership, or a new name took over. It's still Nissan. She called up over there, and the lady at the desk said, oh yeah, just tow it in, whatever, we'll take a look at it. And when she first talked to the mechanic, she talked to the mechanic first, and the mechanic said, oh yeah, that whole transmission will need to be replaced. And she was like, well, my husband says it's just these sensors. And he was thinking about replacing them, and the dude's like, no, yeah, you'll probably need to replace that transmission. And she told me the story, and then she told me the lady was like, oh no, you just replace the sensors. And I would typically listen to the mechanic, especially if he's a dealer mechanic, and especially if he's just telling you a little on the side information. When they tell you on the side information, that's when you kind of need to listen up. So, but he knew what they were selling. And the sad thing is, the video that I saw that first showed these little shark teeth, whatever, on this belt, I got one in my pocket. That's what they look like. Was on a Nissan Rogue, also CVT transmission. These things are failing left and right. So if you have a Nissan with a CVT transmission, Infinity, baby. Oh, this is trash on here. Hey, it's old and it runs, and she will smoke you. But anyway, if you got a Nissan with that CVT transmission, and some people are going to say that, oh, well, you just need to get that flush. The lady had it right there on the computer. Oh, yeah, we see. And she told me, she's just like, yeah, I had it serviced at 60,000 miles, the CVT transmission. So, and she saw it right on the computer. She's like, oh, yep, we see you came in 60,000 miles. So we're at 108,000 miles. If you have to replace it every 60,000 miles, she's like 12,000 miles under. So again, we'll see if they play ball. I'm apprehensive, but I'm hoping. I'm going to put my hands together tonight. And my family was in this vehicle. No, I'm sorry. It was just my wife. But she drives. Car seats coming in and out all the time. So they're in disarray right now because they've been flying in and out of the car. Well, my family's in this vehicle. I was at work. She gave me a call. Or could have been in this vehicle. She had already dropped the kids off. But she drives this car all the time. And she was on her way to work. She's like, yeah, my car just stopped out of nowhere and just started shaking. It's like, what? I just went over that car. Everything was fine. Checked the oil and... oh my God, check this out. I almost forgot. Nissan knows what they're doing. This damn stick right here doesn't even come out. I had to pry the transmission. So there's your oil. Here's your transmission. I had to pry this thing off. I don't want to short out that battery. And when I pried it off, because they had this Nissan proprietary hook that you have to buy handle that pulls this off. Look at that shit. Are you serious? There's no dipstick. It come flying off because I had to pry off on it with some screwdrivers, and you know the deal. And when it finally come off, it just shot up towards the ceiling. I'm like, oh man, crap. So I went to look, I grabbed it. Obviously there was no dipstick on there. I thought maybe it snapped off and went down the tube, and then I remembered that tube doesn't go very far down because it's supposed to check the oil level, and that pan's not that deep. And that tube is talking like 3 foot, man, 2.5, 3 foot, whatever. You get it. There's no possible way it could just fall all the way down in the tube. I looked in there's nothing in the tube. I'm like, what the hell? Come to find out, Nissan doesn't even put that in there. They don't want you, they have it proprietary locked. They don't want you checking the transmission fluid. It is so effed. I just don't know. I used to love Nissan. As you could tell, but this is atrocious. I don't know. And, you know, still paying payments on it. It's 2015. And when they sold it to her, they were bragging this transmission up. They were like, oh yeah, it's like a manual. It doesn't shift in the same gears all the time. And I was driving, I was like, this thing shifts very strange. And it's super, in my opinion, it's slow. But it just, like a dog, just wasn't fast at all. She'd get it to go fast, but she wasn't street racing in it or nothing. She's just driving normal, maybe a little angry. So, whatever. We'll see how it goes. Just thought I'd spread the word. All right. Love you guys. See ya.